Oklahoma. And that is a mindset that I think we desperately need, a skill set that we desperately need in the governor's office. Someone who has spent 30 years in the business world that understands truly, not just writing payroll checks, but having to put your money and your life and your business on the line, creating the jobs that create wealth. Government does not create wealth. Government and politicians create roadblocks to that wealth. And I have a very simple philosophy when it comes to job creation. You tax less what you want more of. You want more jobs coming to the state of Oklahoma? I do, folks. Then let's stop taxing jobs. Do we truly want investment moving into this state? Absolutely. So let's stop taxing capital and investment. Let's break down the barriers that prevents businesses from moving. My policies will revolve around smaller government, individual liberty, the expansion of freedom, and job creation using free market principles.
I was in Alva last Thursday morning at a McDonald's, having a lot of fun visiting with people, and I sat down with a couple, and we visited for half an hour or so. And the husband says, "I have one last question." And I said, "Sure." He said, "What is your special interest group?" I said, "It's a fair question." "My special interest group, sir, is the three of us sitting at this table. And I say to you that the people of Oklahoma are my special interest group. No new taxes. That's just the politician's way. Government always comes back to the people. And the third point of everything that I say wherever I speak is get your hand out of my pocket. If people have money, they will spend it. If government will leave them alone. We will help the budget by restructuring our schools in this state. I think it's okay to have 530 plus school districts, not a problem. Let the local people help educate their kids, but we don't need 530 plus school superintendents. We have judges, district attorneys who are over several counties. We can save millions of dollars right there. Department of Human Services, $1.9 billion budget last year. It is a revolving door, ladies and gentlemen, of cash out, cash out, cash out, cash out, with no restraints on entitlements, and we're going to put some restraints there and save millions of dollars. The Department of Corrections is the same way. Drug courts work. It takes about 2,500 to 5,000 people in the drug court system. It takes 21,000 to keep someone incarcerated full time. We're going to make some changes. Thank you.
I don't think anyone in this room feels like, if I become governor of Oklahoma, that we will have to worry about any kind of tax increases. I'll put a second on the fact that you won't have to worry about any fee increases. The legislature and the governor the past 8 years have done nothing but increase fees. That has to stop. If you increase a fee on an item, and that money is not used for that particular purpose, that's a tax. So let's take a closer look at fee increases. Also, in order to meet this $1 billion deficit, you need to have someone in the governor's office that has zero special interest ties that would cause me to change my decision because somebody says, "Roger, I gave you $5,000. I didn't know when I gave you that $5,000 you were going to come down on me like this and go against my wishes." That influences people's decisions. It always has and always will. That's a part of politics. But, you know, I have a track record of success in business. I have very, very strong negotiating skills. And my managerial skills are second to none. I have 45 years of business experience, And that is what we need in the governor's office, and I hope you will consider me for governor. Thank you.
Well, there is no doubt that Oklahoma is in some very difficult times with our budget. We do have a budget shortfall. We will continue to have a budget shortfall through the budget year of 2012. Our next governor is going to have to focus on prioritizing government spending, making government more cost efficient, more cost effective, without tax increases. And I will not raise taxes. I understand that taxes, rules, regulations burden down our business owners and our business sector. Now, some very specific things that I will do, I'm going to look at our state agencies, and I'm going to ask all of our agency directors, sorry, we don't know which one it is. I'm going to ask all of our agency directors to look at their core mission, to ask if their core mission is still relevant today. Is there a way of doing it better? Can we use better technology? Can we combine some of our government services? I know I talked to some business owners that have told me they had to go to 3 different places to get a business permit. And that's just crazy to do something like that. We're going to tighten up government. We're going to make it run like a business. When I was in the private sector, I had a business where I had over 50 employees. I was the manager for that business. We had several $1 million of a budget, and I went through economic downturns, and we tightened our belts. We cut spending. We looked at ways to make things more efficient, more effective. Government's going to have to tighten its belt, become more smaller, more effective, just like businesses do, just like families do. A couple things I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at the minerals of the state of Oklahoma. Can we utilize the mineral assets that we have underground? Can we look at our property in our state of Oklahoma that is unproductive? Looking at things like state lodges, which I did when I was chairman of the Tourism Commission, to privatize, to bring some public-private partnerships into state government. And of course, I'm going to focus on jobs, the economy, doing everything I can to be the best business recruiter and chief possible for the state of Oklahoma, making Oklahoma more pro-business, reforming workers' comp, reforming tort reform, creating a better educated workforce for the state of Oklahoma, so we become the state that business wants to come and do business and families want to live.
Question number 3. Education is always an important issue. How can we improve education in Oklahoma without increasing the education budget?
I alluded to that in my last remarks. I believe superintendent salaries last year in the state of Oklahoma were a little over $50 million. We can make some great changes right there. And then one of the things that I would like to see, we talk about budget shortfall, we talk about problems in education, and yet our higher education keeps raising taxes, or not taxes, tuition on our kids that go to OU and OSU and other state schools. I wish they would get in line and say, no, enough of that. We want to educate kids. Other forums we've been a part of is, how can we get more kids into college? Well, quit raising tuition. That will help immensely to help reform that education here in the state. We have to focus primarily on our young kids. You know, folks, education used to be done in school and at home. You got trouble at school, you got trouble at home. And the problem with education is the breakdown of the American family. A lot of these kids come to school out of one-parent home. Some of them come to school out of grandparents' homes. And we really have to focus on those young kids. Tell them they're worthwhile. Tell them what we can do. And we also have a problem with high school dropouts. 1 in 4 kids that start high school do not graduate. I would like to say, kids, the first thing you wanted to do, you're no different than I. You wanted to get that first driver's license. If you don't graduate in Oklahoma, you don't get a driver's license until you're 18. And you get out and you go to work. That is incentive type government, community care type government that we need to do so that it makes a difference. We give an incentive along with education. We've got some good teachers, there's no problem there. But we've got to have discipline and incentive to help our educational system.
You know, I talked to half a dozen teachers that had probably close to 20 years experience apiece. They tell me the big problem is the state curriculum acronym is PASS, It's taking so much time.